I'm still in God's holy plan. And I'll never let go of His hand.
Yes.
Through all trials and tribulations, I'm still holding on. And I'm bound for the promised land.
Yes.
Though you scandalize my name, I'm
Yes.
still holding on.
Yes.
And I'm bound for the promised land.
Yes.
And I'll never let go of His hand.
Yes.
Yes,
Amen.
beautiful,
Amen. Well, as you see, my name is Sandra, and welcome to the I Shall Bloom Show. Yes, a show where we interview stellar individuals whose work, whose legacy has profoundly uplifted, and they are doing great things for the community, for the better. So, today I have the honor of interviewing these two blessed women of God of prosperity fragrance. Oh, you know, I forgot to say my saying. You know, I shall bloom, you shall bloom, we all bloom. So today we are going to learn. Uh, we're going to let God work, because whenever I speak to this young lady and her daughter, God does something special. So let's, with further ado, we give it to you. Prosperity fragrance. Woo! Yeah.
All right.
You're on.
Hi, hello everybody.
Oh, you're on.
It's
Yes.
on. Hi.
Hi. Introduce yourself and then your daughter, and then tell me a little bit about your company. Your how'd you come up with that beautiful name, Prosperity Fragrance? But you go ahead. It's your show. Go ahead.
All right. My name is Phoenix, or I go by Phoenix. My friends and family know me as Keisha, but I go by Phoenix. My name is it's a pseudonym, or it's a testimony for how God has risen me and been here with me through a lot of difficulties in my life. And this is
Hi, I'm Imani, and I am Phoenix's daughter. I do affirmation videos, like some light mentorship. I'm just really following in the vision, following in her footsteps with the empowerment and you know, just giving guidance to the community has been an amazing thing for me. So, yes, it's very nice to see you all today.
Yes. Hi. Yay. So, well, I want to say something really quick, and then I'll ask you the questions and let. Say your name again. You said you go by.
I go by Phoenix. I
Phoenix.
actually go by Phoenix Emmanuel.
Phoenix Emmanuel. Okay. Tattoo. That's Emmanuel. God be with us.
Exactly.
If you got, that name,
Exactly.
Emmanuel. God be with you. So
Mhm.
we know God is here right now. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's. I wanted to say that I met them through SABIF, the San Antonio Black International Film Festival. We met. I was doing basically helping out with the filming there. I Shall Bloom was there, and I met these two. They were there. They were the vendors.
Mhm.
And since COVID, I've lost my smell, so it's slowly coming back, but it's not all the way back still. So I'm not able to wear perfume because I don't smell it, and I don't know if it's wrong or rancid. But I saw them as they made their perfumes, their fragrance, their oils. And I told her, do you have vanilla? I said, I love vanilla. I can't smell it anyway. So she said, I don't have vanilla, but when you come back, I came back around and her daughter had made me my own smell, and it was delightful, and I can smell it. So that was my thing too. I had a whole bunch of their cards. So their cards have been once the International Film Festival was over. I still have their cards, several cards, and I looked at it. It was on my desk, and then something just said, "Okay, I ran out of the oil. I don't know, for some reason it just went away, just like." And so I was impelled to call, and actually I spoke with Phoenix, and of course we didn't talk about the perfume. So here we go.
Yes.
Yes,
So what we spoke about was the vision, right?
yes.
Primarily. Yeah.
We went with the vision, and you go ahead and talk about the
The
vision.
vision.
And then we came up, we actually, God gave us something else too,
Hmm.
because that's what, it was God led for me to meet these two young, and I mean, and the daughter, like she said, her daughter is following in her footstep of helping others and releasing bondage, and not being ashamed. So go
Exactly.
ahead.
Exactly. So, well, first, giving honor to the Most High God,
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
without God, I wouldn't be here.
Yes.
Um, there was a lot of people who thought I wasn't going to make it. You know what I mean? And we'll talk more about my testimony at another time. But um, usually, before I do anything, because I also host community events, or I have in the past, before I start anything that I do in front of the public, I first mention my mother's name. My mother's name was Deborah Nolden, but when she passed, she was Deborah Nolden Rosser. And my mom passed away in 2019. And she had a myriad, yes, ma'am, she had a myriad of health issues. And I couldn't do anything to heal her. But over time, I realized that a lot of her issues that she faced, she had cancer 3 times. She had it in her uterus, in her thyroid, and in her breast. She had diabetes. She was on dialysis for 20 years. She and a lot of people don't live that long on dialysis. She had hundreds of hospitalizations, and at some point in my younger years, I realized that a lot of my mom's ailments were most likely attributed to trauma. And I still hadn't started the business yet. I didn't actually start the business until my daughter was diagnosed with lupus when she was 17, and we almost lost her. Literally, she almost died. And so at that time, I was working at one of the drugstores in New Braunfels,
Yeah.
and I realized that my daughter needed me to be there full time. So I started selling oils just for milk money, just
Mhm.
for pocket change when I was
Yeah.
in my early 20s. She was like 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And she was like 3 years old. And so when I went to San Antonio College at that time,
Yeah.
and so I would catch the bus in San Antonio, and I would have the oils, like just like 5 of them in my backpack. And sometimes I'd forget they were there because during the hustle and bustle of getting to and fro everywhere. And she would tell me when she was little, she'd like, "Mommy, I'm hungry," and I was broke, struggling, like most of us are, and I'm still climbing that ladder, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I would remember, oh, I have these oils in my backpack. And so I would take them out, and I would be like, okay, you see this vial? They were smaller then. And I would be like, okay, we'd be at the bus stop, and I'd tell her, okay, this is our version of white diamonds. You see
Yeah.
that lady over there? Go tell her that this is perfume and it's only $5. And so she'd go over there at 3 years old,
3 years old.
sell the
Start 'em
fragrance,
young.
sell the fragrance, and I would take her to McDonald's, and so she'd have something to eat. And so I've
Reward.
always, yeah. So for over 20 years, I've, just kind of, sold the oils just a little, not even as a business or anything, but when she got sick, I realized that I had to do something, right? And so being at the drugstore, I was seeing a lot of products that weren't working. And so it kind of, I went from selling the oils to selling other things like natural soaps and shea butters and so forth. Hmm.
Yeah. I remember that time being very traumatic. Not being able to have my mother there, all the time because she still had to provide for us. Like I wasn't able to work or even go to school. I was homebound my senior year of high school and stuff like that. It was a very challenging time, but to see her gears turn in, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
to
the
see
strength.
the evolution of starting with the foundation of the oils and that being so deep seated in our story has been a beautiful thing. I love being a part of it.
Yeah.
I love helping the vision grow, watching the vision grow. It's been an absolutely just astounding experience. I want everyone to experience this.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I mean, just sitting here with these two right now, I mean, women of God. I mean, you guys just don't know. I mean, I'm so, I should be used to the Holy Spirit in here, but you never get used to it. It's just always, and He's here right now. And oh man, I just feel like crying because He's always here. And I shall bloom, regardless of what I have to go through to come get here. Then I get here. And it's just like, oh man, God,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And so the key word is to what, no matter what you go through, you don't stay there. You don't pitch a tent and build a house there.
Yeah.
You go through it while God is connecting you and protecting you. And then to His journey, because our steps are ordered if you allow them to be ordered by the Lord. So, I mean, you guys just see this beautiful seed from watching. We are being watched. Our kids watch us.
Yes.
She watched her evolve from at 3 years old. She was already selling.
Yeah.
And comfortable with it.
And comfortable with it.
Yeah, she's always been very outgoing.
See, that was her gift too.
Yeah.
So she was comfortable with selling, and then watching reactions, because that was a reward. She went to McDonald's.
She did. That was
so. There you go. What?
And she still expects me to feed her after she does a good day, hard day's work.
Yes, exactly. There's a reward. See, even God rewards us for good things. You know, those good things. He gives us a reward, and there's rewards for bad things. But we are all a reward. And so, tell me now. Okay, so when you started when she was 3, and you said you watch your mom, and you're a part of the prosperity fragrance.
Yes.
Wait, how the name?
The name. That's the perfect question. I was hoping you asked that.
Yes.
So the name. Okay, so first off, let me let y'all know that I was called to ministry when I was 9. So everything that I do is centered by God. Like God is the foundation. God is the beginning, the end, like God is what I do when I first wake up, before I go to sleep, like all day is, And so one of my favorite books in the Bible is First Psalms. And we're reminded that when we're rooted in the Most High, that anything that we do shall prosper.
Yes.
And so that's where the name Prosperity Fragrance came from.
Beloved. Above all.
Awesome.
He calls us His beloved.
Yeah.
Beloved.
Yeah.
So
Even I didn't know that. I did not know where prosperity fragrances came from.
Exactly.
I was just super excited about it. I was like, that is definitely like prosperity means so much to me personally. And to be able to share that with everyone we come into contact with is a huge thing for me as well.
Exactly. And so we don't just sell, fragrances. We also sell, like I said, natural soaps and shea butters. Over time, this organization, because it's actually turned into a community, has grown what I say arms and legs, and it's morphed, and we've been able to network even during times where we were facing huge adversity in life, and God would just send these people like Sandra.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
just like,
That's how
exactly.
And we are welcome to it now. I see how God works.
Oh my
Learning
gosh.
God, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Learning how He works. He is just, no one can do what He does. No
Exactly.
one can compare the stories, the connections,
Exactly.
the feeling.
Yes.
The feeling when God, Holy Spirit is,
Yeah,
I
it's
call it
working, yeah.
favorites. Not FABOR, it. Favorite it.
Exactly.
Favorite.
These are favorite it moments.
I
Yeah.
love that.
I love
That's why
I
God
love
gave us
that.
Favorite it, not favorite, but favorite it.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And that's what this is.
Exactly.
This is it. I mean, you guys. Oh my God, the Holy Spirit is just. He is so awesome. So tell me more. I know that about you. Tell me more about you now that you watched it evolve,
Okay.
and now you're in it, running it.
So, I was like, I'm still definitely behind the scenes. Like, I definitely will, do like as much logistics as I possibly can. I try to be as helpful as possible.
Yes.
But it took a long time for me to get here in particular. Like, I've been through a lot of what I've been through. I put myself through. Like, I am 26 years old, and for a time I left home, and it was
Talk to someone right now.
extremely
Talk to someone right now, because that someone needs to hear that. That's it.
it was an extremely just challenging, just daunting, just extremely hard time in my life. It was I felt like if I hadn't have left home, like I would be in a different place in life. I know that everything happens for a reason, and that I feel like the steps that I took were divine. I'm happy to be where I am in life,
Yes.
but I know that if I hadn't have misstepped and felt like I could do it all on my own, like the sense of community is such a huge thing that we have lost.
Yes.
And when I stepped back from my community, the world came down on me. So I'm definitely happy to be back, because once I came back with a level of humility I don't think I could have been taught by anything other than life itself,
Huh.
or by God Himself. You know what I mean? Like it was a whole lesson that I was proud to learn, because when I did come back home, it was monumental. I was ready to listen. I was ready to be guided as I should have been from, from the beginning.
Yes.
But with all the influences that we have in this world, it's hard to pick up that humility on the way. So it just kind of is what it is. But it's been such a beautiful and fruitful endeavor. Like I love understanding the power of community, the power of guidance, the power of connection with your parent, the person that brought you here.
Yes.
It's so monumental, and I want everyone to know that. So the
Yes.
power of community is real. It really is.
Exactly. And I would like to piggyback on what you said. Like I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
First off, like, you know,
I'll cry. I'll do it.
so what I've learned is that isolation and separation is a trick of the enemy.
Yes.
And so the enemy likes to get us alone or separated from our source,
Yes.
from our roots, from our,
Yes.
and that's when the enemy plays tricks on our minds and makes us believe that people don't care, and
Yeah.
through manipulation of other entities attached to other people that you're around who are also trying to fill a void.
Yeah.
They'll encourage you to do things that is contrary to what God sent you here to do. And so the other part of that, right? Because I think that most people, especially in America, or I guess abroad too, but like when you're young, especially in America and the West,
Right.
people are encouraged to live your best life. And they usually say that in a very toxic way, the
Right.
way they present it. But the other part of being young and figuring out life is that she said that when she came home, she was ready to listen.
Yeah.
That wasn't just on her.
Mhm.
So as a parent, what I've learned is that we have to be ready to listen too, because the way that we're able to keep our lines of communication open is that both of us have to be accountable. And I think a lot of, especially with mothers and daughters, especially when they're a lot alike, you know,
Yes.
and so I see a lot of myself in her. And so in order to receive her, in order to help her grow, in order to help her, to guide her through some of her most difficult times in her life,
Yes.
I had to change myself, and I'm still working on myself because she matters to me, and our children should matter to us. So she helped me grow just as much. So I owe her just as much as she may feel that she owes me.
Yeah. Yeah. Likewise, for sure.
Well, I like what you said about, well, because in the Bible, this is the prodigal son.
Mhm.
And so, we think in our little 17-year or 18-year-old brain, whatever age, we're not equipped yet to go out and be with the lion, with the enemies, really.
Yeah.
So we don't have all that equipped. So when we go out there, and I applaud you for seeing it, because some people didn't come back.
Yeah.
They didn't see, or they let their pride take over so much that they couldn't go back home because they were so scared that they were gonna, I told you so. But see, you didn't get that. You got love. But you came back in love. You came back humble.
Yeah.
Okay, mom, let's do this. Mom, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to listen. And then that's when God is in it. Anyways, he brought his daughter back home. And then what?
Well, to
how
be
that
honest,
works.
can I keep it 100?
Yeah, well, that's, I shall bloom,
God.
I shall bloom.
I'm gonna keep
I
it
shall
real.
bloom.
I'm gonna keep it real because I didn't have
Right.
a lot of influence on how to parent. I had to learn that over the years.
Yes.
And so I used to teach parenting classes for the Methodist Hospital. And so as I was growing and I saw that I didn't want her to have the same traumas that I had experienced when I was younger,
Yes.
I intentionally sought methods on how to be the best parent that I could be.
Right.
So to
That's
keep
awesome.
it completely transparent, oh, I did say I told you so.
Yes.
I
Oh, yeah.
absolutely said, didn't I tell
I was
you?
ready for that. It's
Those
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
friends of yours, those weren't your friends,
Hmm.
so on and so. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you.
Right.
But then at the same time, that's negative energy,
And
and that
you
was
felt it.
very much prideful.
Mhm.
And at the end of the
I feel
day,
like it came out of more of fear.
I was
Like,
hurt.
exactly.
I
I
was
was like,
hurt. And
I get it.
I
I
don't think
get
a lot
it.
of parents are able to tell their children that hurt me.
Yeah.
And this is the beautiful thing because you're opening up about that. That I
Exactly.
did, oh, I was right. Because of the guilt of her being gone too.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Exactly.
there was guilt on
Oh,
you. Like, man,
definitely.
my daughter's out there. I'm doing the same
Yeah.
thing. It's getting ready to happen again. That same thing.
Yeah.
So, oh, good. I was right. So I
Yeah.
got to say it. I told you, not knowing that hurt. And you
Exactly.
hurt when you said it.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
So what she
Mhm.
did tell me at some point in over the years,
Yeah.
because I was raised to believe that children are seen and not heard, and I'm not gonna submit to a child because I'm the this and I'm the that.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's counterproductive. Like that didn't help anything. And one day she told me, the way you're behaving, you're pushing me away. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't beating on her, but I was very strong in my character because that's how I learned to life. That's how I learned to
The hard
protect
life.
myself,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hard life, exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't want anybody to make me feel that way. And my child matters to me.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, so I know I mean, that's the pain. Love. Love can be very painful too,
Yeah.
and we know that. Even if it's a good love, it still hurts sometimes because it's just like, the devil is always trying to remind you of what you did in your past.
Yeah.
So when you look at that person that you may have hurt and they're over it, but the devil you allow to say, aha, look what you did. Look what you did. You'll never make it. You're still going to be just like your mom.
Yeah.
So it's a constant war to um, to fight that. But your name's prosperity.
Mhm.
I will prosper, and it's not all about money. Of course, we need
Yeah.
it in this world to be a blessing to others, blessed to be a blessing. But it's a prosperity in my health, prosperity in my relationship,
Yes.
prosperity in where I go, and favor and prosper. So everywhere I go and everything I do shall
Exactly.
prosper.
Shall
Exactly.
And so those are the seeds as you speak those seeds out because the power of the tongue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys are speaking.
Exactly.
I mean, your work, your name even says it before you
Exactly.
say it. It shows up.
Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Exactly.
Fragrance.
Exactly.
The
So
fragrance of prosperity
that
is
exactly,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
that's
exactly
deep.
that's where I was gonna go. I was gonna
Yeah,
go
got it.
there a moment ago when I said we don't just sell fragrance oils, but
Mhm.
so it's not just about the smell
Mhm.
as it relates to fragrances. Prosperity has a different aura to it.
Hmm.
When you're walking in favor,
Yes, that's it.
there's a different aura, there's a different
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
You breathe different,
Hmm.
you know?
You
It's
walk to.
and you walk
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
right? So can I talk about road to prosperity?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
prosperity fragrance. A moment ago, I mentioned that we're turning into a community.
Hmm.
Now, before there was a prosperity fragrance, there was a vision because in the Christian Bible, it says to write the vision and make it plain, right? So I started to write the vision to the best of my ability. I'm still working on it, but the action came before all the writing. So I've always been the type of person that was as helpful as I could to others, encouraging. I've lived life and I've seen a lot of things, and I know that a lot of people are hurting primarily because they lack a sense of community, right? So before there was a prosperity fragrance, there was the organization or mentoring program that I am establishing. It was for single mothers, but now it's just for people in general.
Yes.
I still mentor single mothers. young mothers or people who are aspiring to be parents, because this journey, this parental process,
Yes.
is ultimately a leadership position, and it's not about us, it's about the children that are coming, because at the end of the day, that's who the enemy is really after,
Yes.
because a lot of us are carrying trauma and hurts that stem from our childhood,
Yes.
and the adults weren't listening, or they didn't have the skills to pay attention to what the children were going through, because the
Exactly.
adults are just trying to figure life out themselves, and they're doing the best they
Yeah,
can.
they're trying to survive.
Exactly. So we're not just a business, we're also an organization or a community
Yes.
of people who want to make the world a better place. And so we have a peer support group called Affirmations. The
Yes.
name of our mentoring program is Road to Prosperity, right?
Oh.
Because we're all on our individual road to prosperity. So when people purchase from us, we actually take some of the proceeds to do volunteer work. Like, we haven't become millionaires yet, so we have enough money to pay our overhead, right?
Yes.
But we also use some of that money if someone calls and says, hey, can you take me to the hospital?
Hmm.
Because we did have to take someone to Laurel Ridge a couple of days ago. Tomorrow we have to go support another person in Austin who's, he has to go to jail and stuff like that. And so he's a part of our community, but he doesn't have anyone else there
Yeah.
for him. So some of those proceeds go to gas, feeding other young people. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, so we're all on our road to prosperity. So we're trying to encourage others to prosper and tap into their divine calling.
Oh, I just love it. So, how could someone reach you to? Did you want to say? I know you probably have
I
some.
did
Oh,
just a brief moment. So we
yes.
can you can find Road to Prosperity on Facebook. So um, facebook.com/road to prosperity will lead you to our Road to Prosperity page,
Yes.
and then we have Prosperity Fragrances. So facebook.com/prosperity fragrance will lead you to our shop as well. So we have
Instagram.
yeah, and we have Instagram as well, prosperity_fragrance. Yeah, so we have all our little social medias and stuff like that where you can reach us. You can always donate to Road to Prosperity as well, just so you can sow a seed in someone's life today. Yeah.
Yes. So,
And one more thing,
go ahead.
one more
All
social
right.
media. It's not really social media, it's our website.
Oh, prosperityfragrance.online is our website as well. So you can check out all the products, new products and fragrances that we have on there as well. We don't just have the fragrances and natural soaps, but we also have meditation aids as well. So meditation products. So
Yes.
some great stuff.
Well, I
Yeah.
was just gonna ask what name some. I say flavors, huh? Some fragrance or
Some fragrances.
yeah. What's
Some fragrances that we have that are our best sellers, some of my personal favorites.
yes.
We have pure oil renditions of Rihanna's Riri fragrance, absolutely stunning fragrance for women.
Yes.
Um, we have for men our Acqua di Gio Profondo. That's an Armani fragrance, our rendition therein.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely wonderful as well. And then another Rihanna fragrance is the Rihanna Fenty. That's our unisex fragrance that is one of our top sellers right now. That's just absolutely stunning, stellar fragrance. Yeah, there's some great fragrances. So they're pure oil renditions of designer fragrances that you would find in store, and they last anywhere from 8 to 12 hours on the skin because they don't have any alcohol content in them. So we're not throwing off pH balances or anything like that. It's a much more natural alternative to using regular fragrances.
Yeah, I know. Like I said earlier, that I can't really, I haven't regained all of my 100% of my smell back. But I know that when I wore it, I put the oils on just a little. People were like, "What is that? What is?"
Hmm.
And I'm like, "You can smell it," because
Hmm.
that was later. I didn't even smell it anymore. But they were like, "What is that?" I said, "Oh, you can smell it." She was like, "That smells so
Awesome.
luxurious," she said, and
Yeah.
delicacy and
I love that.
just yeah. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta get some more," because
Yeah.
I didn't smell it anymore, but it was still radiating
Yeah.
throughout the room. So yes, you guys got to get some of these oils. And a lot of people can't take. I'm a perfume person. I love perfumes. I was wearing Lulu's and all the white diamonds
Hmm.
and all the higher ends. But all of a sudden that pH or something was doing something to me, it smelled rancid. It was
Mhm.
changing, and then I can't smell it anymore anyway. So, you guys, I just applaud you. I applaud you. And I want to say too, our meeting, we were supposed to talk about, we did talk a little bit about prosperity fragrance, but we started talking about God had something else that He wanted to bring out. And as I was listening to her story, that's beautiful. That's cool. As we're listening to, as I was listening to her story, um, we talked about things that were happening that day, that happened in the past, and just things that are happening right now that I don't understand. And she knew about it, because God led me to her. So we are going to have another series. God said it's only 7 people that's going to be in the series. And the name of it is The Wounded Rose. So,
Beautiful.
The wounded rose.
Yeah.
Thanks.
so only 7 people, he said, will be allowed to be in the series. And of course, they are going to be in the series.
Awesome.
So I just wanted to say thank you again, both of you, blessed women of God, to being on the show this time, because you'll be back, of course, you're part of it.
Yes,
Family.
absolutely.
I applaud everything that you're both doing and you're doing. Your young life, you are people are looking and watching.
Yeah.
And I applaud you, Mom, for stepping in there and telling the truth and realizing I want to do better.
Of course, yes.
And
Absolutely.
so I thank you again.
Mhm.
Again, my name is Sandra Williams, and I am the host of the I Shall Bloom Show. And I can be reached at ishallbloom.com. Also, Sandra at ishallbloom.com. And on YouTube, it's I Shall Bloom Talk Show. My number is 210-986-9881. I also do advertising. So if you would like to do some advertising on my show, I'd love to create a package for you. And again, I say my slogan. It's not my slogan. It's what God gave me. So it's God's word. It's I shall bloom, you shall bloom, we shall bloom
Yes.
and blossom.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.